welcome back to Techiexpert. I'm Alisha Chandrakar, and today I have a very fascinating and inspiring personality with me, whose name is Amit. So, Amit, welcome to Techiexpert. So, Amit is the founder of Galaxy Card. He's into IT industry from past 9 years, and he is very intelligent. So, Amit, what would you like to tell our audience?
Hi, thank you everyone for having me. Thanks, Alicia. It's wonderful to be here. Happy to share my experiences and whatever concerns and questions people may have for me.
Okay. So, Amit, my first question to you is, can you explain to our techie audience what Galaxy Card is all about?
Sure, Alicia. So essentially, if you look at the low income segment, right? If you look at your maids, your drivers, your cab driver, delivery boys, these generally keep borrowing 500,000 rupees from either their employer, their friends, family, neighbors, and it's nobody wants to borrow money from somebody else, right? It's always a thing of letting go of your dignity when you have to borrow money. It's still easier when you're borrowing it from a bank, but you really can't keep borrowing from a bank for a 1,000 rupee kind of a loan. And that's where Galaxy Card, tries to come in. You and I, we typically swipe our credit card when we need some, we are in a short time cash crunch. But these people, they generally can't do that because banks simply refuse to give them a credit card. And that's where Galaxy Card comes in. We help them get a credit card that they can use to, migrate over that small cash crunch. And they can, continue to live their life financially independent with the dignity and obviously with the convenience and freedom that they get of having a reliable, card on their hands, which works everywhere, be it a chai ki tapri, be it, even a puncher wala or anyone of that sort for whatever, use case they may have, medicines, clothes, daily grocery, milk, everything.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, how did you came up with this idea, and what is the story behind the name Galaxy Card?
Sure. So, Alicia, the journey started when I used to talk to a lot of cab drivers when I was taking a cab on my home. When I would see the maid at my home ask me for an advance salary, when my office staff would ask, "Ki sir, salary thoda advance de do." So all these things culminate into the fact that I asked them, आप क्रेडिट कार्ड क्यों नहीं यूज कर लेते, बार पैसे क्यों मांग रहे हो, राइट? सो व्हाई आर यू borrowing money? Swipe your card. And they simply said, we don't get it, the banks don't give us a card. And that kind of led into a rabbit hole, talking to the banks to identify why are you not giving these a card. So called up a few friends to understand what exactly goes into giving somebody a credit card or not, and why is it that these guys are actively being refused even though they are on a regular salary. They've been working longer than I have been, and yet I am easily approved and these are not. They're not asking you for a 5 lakh rupee credit card. They're just asking you for 10,000 rupee cards. Okay. And that's how the journey started, and figuring out why is it that they're disapproved, what exactly makes them not eligible. It's not just about eligibility, it's also in terms of, even if these guys got a credit card, a typical plastic card would be absolutely useless to them, because they don't go to places for their daily purchases where they may have a POS machine and they can't swipe. And if you can't swipe your card, it is essentially a piece of useless plastic for you. And if it's useless plastic for you, it's not adding value, and hence you're not making any money to the card company. And if that happens, you're essentially a useless customer to them. So it's a really deep rabbit hole. If the deeper you go down, the deeper you realize it is. And that's how the whole journey started. And Galaxy Card, the name came along, just about something. Big fan of Marvel here. And I was watching Guardians of Galaxy, and one thing that struck out to me was they're the guardians of everyone, right? And what we wanted to make was a card that worked for everyone, right? And today, yes, we are on Earth. Maybe tomorrow we'll be on Mars, and maybe we'll spread out across. We never wanted to focus ourselves just on the fact that we are for low income. We want to be for middle income tomorrow. We want to expand to the higher income as well. And that's why the name Galaxy Card.
Okay, that's really interesting. So do you think that people have misconception about credit cards? People think that it's risky, and if they get the credit card, they have to pay more money back. So what do you want to tell about that?
Sure. So if you look at it, typically banks want you to be late, right? these are things called gray patterns in a customer's experience, and a lot of companies, even not realizing them, they fall into that gray category just because everyone has their targets. So people fall into those shady practices of leading the customer to a not a great experience. One of them being, when your credit card bill is generated, you only get a single SMS from your bank and maybe even an email saying that your bill is generated. This is the last date to pay. Right? They won't remind you, and you're obviously not free enough to think about your credit card bill all day long, and you end up missing it. And the penalties for missing your credit card payment are very huge. Obviously, if you're getting an interest-free period, nobody is giving that money to you out of charity. So they want to recover that money in case you are late. And that's how the whole business is built. But if you look at it, that creates a problem. Because if you get late, you will generally always want to call the bank and ask them to waive off your late fee because you forgot. Right? You don't want to accept the fact that you did miss it out. And worst part of about us being as humans is psychologically we are wired in a way that the day we are late, we will remember most things, right? And even the banks are kind of waiting and hoping that you will be late, and then 5-10 days later they'll start calling you saying, "Hi Alicia, you missed your bill, you've got now a late fee, please pay it up." Right? So with all that happening, people started getting into the misconception, not really the misconception, the actual idea started taking shape, that if you use a card, you will eventually end up being late because you will forget. It was so hard to make a bill payments that credit was born to make credit card bill payments easy. Right? So if a startup can do just this and become a unicorn, you can imagine how pained people were with the credit, the idea of paying the credit card bills. And that's exactly what created this whole idea that credit cards are a nuisance. But if you look at it, if you are with a company such as Galaxy Card, we will send you a notification every single day of your bill generation. We want to ensure that you never miss it out. We want to make it damn easy for you to pay your bills so that it doesn't take away, important 30 seconds of your life, in trying to make a bill payment. So you click a button, you get your repayment done, it's instantly updated. You don't have to wait and figure out whether or not your bill will get updated in time because your bank went down and stuff like that happens. You immediately get, updated and everything else happens. And now the customer now knows that a company such as Galaxy Card or whoever else is trying to do the same thing would now be in a confident mode that a credit card company does not mean that I'll be, in a bad shape. I'll end up paying a lot more as long as I keep paying attention to the regular updates that I'm getting, the regular communication that I'm getting. I will always end up making the best use of the interest-free credit that is being given to me. So we are trying to help people understand that, you've been cheated, but does not mean that the thing you've been getting is wrong. It's just that you've been getting it from the wrong people.
I totally agree with you. So how do you differentiate yourself, like your company, from other credit card providers? What is special or unique about your company?
Quite a few things. I mean, if you were to apply, say, let's talk about HDFC Bank, the biggest credit card company in the country, they would take about 3 weeks for you to apply for your card, for you to get your card, and then for first time go and swiping out on it. Right? Galaxy Card would do that in 3 minutes. Second, you can literally go to a thela, on the roadside and have a cup of tea there and pay with your Galaxy Card. But you can't expect the thela tapri to have a POS machine for you to use a credit card. So every single day expenses, even 5-10 rupee expenses can be done on Galaxy Card, but you can't even imagine doing that on a credit card. It's just absolutely impossible. So those are some of the things. And as I just said, right, we made it really, really easy for people to remember their card bills, to pay their card bills on time, which again will not ever be possible with a traditional card. So these are some of the, the broader use cases. Other than that, we are, today present in more than 20,000 villages and towns across the country. No other credit card can claim that kind of a depth. In terms of geography. So that, our form factor that we are based on a mobile, our form factor that we are based, allowing people to use the card at daily expense shopping, even for the, the most smallest of expenses, that's driving usage even in the most corner towns and villages. We have customers who are in a village where you could literally just find where he lives by, asking for the name of the person. You don't even need to know his address. So, that small area is having bringing customers to Galaxy Card speaks volumes about what's the real differentiator for the customer.
Okay, that's really amazing. So, how did you deal with the pandemic? Like, have you seen increasing number of people applying for your credit card?
It was both sides of the story. We saw a lot of more people applying for the card. At the same time, we saw people getting afraid of using the card during the pandemic for the fear that they didn't understand moratoriums well, and some others got it really really wrong, where they thought that a moratorium means that your loan will be waived off, you can use whatever you want. So it was a real mixed emotion kind of situation for us, where we did have demand, but at the same time we weren't really sure whether these people understand what a moratorium means, and whether they will actually want to pay it back or not. So we had a really rough time trying to figure out whether we should help these people increase their credit limits during this time, which we did in the lockdown 1. But in lockdown 2, we understood that from our customers early on that a lot more people this time are very confused about what to do, and they're clinging to the cash. So if we do increase in limits this time, it might hurt, bite us back, and these people might not even pay on time. And typically speaking, if people don't pay your bills for 90 days, it's going to be very hard for you to get the money back at all at any point of time. So in case these people are now the customers are clinging to cash, it will be really hard, because 90 days will easily go by after the lockdown before people can get stable again. And then we would end up with heavy losses in terms of our defaults. So it was a really mixed bag of emotions for us there, and a lot of strategy and decision making went to identify and make sure we could continue to grow, support our honest customers and the ones in need, while at the same time ensuring people don't misuse or misunderstand what we're offering.
Okay. So, what are the various services your card or your app is providing to its customers?
We're a very boring company that way, Alicia. We provide customers a credit card. We give them the options to use the credit card at various places. We also have a shopping engine in the app, wherein you can shop on the app itself and buy fancy gadgets like earpods, which function much like Apple AirPods in that sense. Smartwatches, Android smartwatches, which are under thousands of budgets. You get neck bands as earphones and stuff like that. So fancy stuff for the younger generation who wants to get the same kind of a feel where you would get on a premium product, but at a lower budget. So we're trying to enable that for them. We allow them to have a convenience of paying their utility bills. One of the biggest changes that has happened recently is in the telecom sector. Earlier you could do 100 rupees recharge for a month, or something of that sort, but now typically the 3-month recharges are the most economical, right? And some of the telecom providers are now moving so that you only get some features when you do a 3-month recharge. Otherwise you're kind of severely limited in what you get in a 1 month. And that's kind of one really big use case that our customers enjoy. They recharge using Galaxy Card and they convert to 3-month EMI. So now we've made it possible for them to have a monthly recharge instead of kind of a 3-month recharge in one go. So they enjoy the simplicity of paying 100 rupees a month for their recharge.
That's great.
So other than that, we're a pretty boring company in every sense. We just move money from here and there.
That's really interesting feature. Like, I haven't thought about it. I think no one has thought about this EMI system for recharging, because I have seen people who can't afford for directly paying 3 months bill.
The worst part is these people then end up, the people in the lower segment, they, to be honest, everybody is very bad at math. And then that's the reason why Bata was selling shoes as $499 instead of $500, right? And people really don't understand math very well, and they end up doing a 50 rupees recharge 20 times over, rather than taking a monthly plan or a 3-month plan, because they don't really understand the exact price of a single unit. And that's where, the EMI option becomes really, really comfortable and convenient for them.
Right, totally agree. So what are your take on fundings? Have you received any fundings, and what are your future plans about it?
We're actually, we just announced our last fundraise a few months ago. It was $500,000 of raise from multiple investors, including some veterans in the credit card space in the US and a few angel networks in the country itself. And now we're raising our next round, which is our pre-series A round. We'll be announcing the fundraise very shortly.
Okay. So what are your future plans? Like, are you thinking to add some more features to your card or providing more services to your customers or anything which you like to share with our audience?
Definitely. So, Alicia, very soon we'll be announcing virtual cards so that customers who would like to shop online will also be able to do that using Galaxy Card. We are introducing ways to help the customers increase their credit limits as they continue to use. We are introducing reward points, much like how you have on your typical credit card. So, you use and you pay your bills, and you get reward points for your usage, which you can then redeem for either you're paying your bills itself or maybe for some discounts on the shopping platform, and multiple other factors. We are also now introducing full conversion of your bills into EMIs. We are introducing different types of loans as well. We are making it easier for us to underwrite more people. And when I say that, what I mean is somebody who's never ever taken a loan, maybe somebody who's just a student who out of college and getting into his first job, and he wants to get a credit card. We want to be able to cater to that. So we'll be announcing some releases there. And then obviously we are expanding our shopping platform to cater to more and more audience and cater to more of their daily needs, and bringing more products that will be much more lucrative to them, and help them live. So today nobody wants to feel poor, right? And that's what we want to be able to give them. We're investing heavily on ensuring that our customers understand when and how they may fall into a debt trap. So we are trying to introduce better payment plans. We're trying to help them with education. So we launched a recent channel called Credit Card Sahi Hai, much on the lines of mutual fund Sahi Hai, where we're educating the customers on how and what's the best way to use a credit card, what not to do on a credit card, and what they can do to ensure they get maximum value from a credit card. So educating the customers, ensuring they get better products and services from us will continue to be a priority forever.
That's really amazing. So my last question to you, what advice would you like to give to our younger generation who are just entering the tech industry, as you are an IT expert?
One thing that we really see among the audience, the younger audience today, is that they run after people who are paying them a bigger amount. They will run after technologies which are, in the fashion today. My advice to all such people would be to not run after the fads. Fads will always come and go. It's your skills and your knowledge that will stick around, and it will be easy for you to change technologies, because technologies keep changing, right? Technologies don't last more than 5-7 years at max. You want to be really fundamentals should be really strong, and as long as you have that, any technology for you will be an easy piece of cake, and people will be really floored with the depth of your knowledge compared to any other superfluous things that you may do.
Right. So few words for our channel Techiexpert.
Well, it's a great place for people to come to and learn and understand technology and what's going on. I really hope more people would find this channel and learn from the expert and curated content that you have here.
Thank you so much. So Amit, it was really amazing talking to you, and personally I have learned so many things about credit card which I haven't known, and really your app is providing so many things. The best part about your Galaxy card is I think the EMI system, because I haven't heard about it before anyone is providing this kind of thing. So it's really unique, and I'm sure our audience will love the concept and surely going to go and apply for it.
Great. Looking forward to everyone.
Definitely.
Thank you, Alicia.
So thank you for your precious time.
Thanks everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.